My son Trey started getting headaches and blurred vision, and it was after training that he would usually get them. We couldn't figure it out. He was wrestling at the time. He was going to a competition in New Zealand. He was preparing, he was training hard. Doctors told us to ease up on the training, see how it goes. Kept getting it, went back again, and then they sent us to Blacktown Hospital, did a scan, and then it came up as a tumour. It was the size of a wallet in a sausage shape, so it was a really big tumour. And they told us not to leave Blacktown Hospital and to stay there. And they wanted us to go in an ambulance to Westmead Hospital because it was pretty bad. And but he was training literally hard out the day before, so he was in good condition. He felt fine. We waited for a long time, and then we ended up just driving down to Westmead Hospital, and that's where the journey started. Yeah. When we found out it was a tumour, we didn't know a whole lot about it. They didn't tell us a lot about it. So, obviously we were shocked, but we didn't know the extent of how bad, and, I wasn't educated exactly about tumours and the whole go, Trey was 14 at the time. It was a big shock, obviously when we got to Westmead and we sort of found out a bit more ins and outs of how bad the situation was there. So Westmead Hospital, in the children's ward, they operated and they tried to remove it. They were unsuccessful. They got a sample out, come out of operation completely blind, with a massive scar, and then we had a meeting and they said that Trey's got 6 months to live, maybe a year or two if he's lucky, and they sent us home and that was it. Like, enjoy what you got left, and that was it. And I remember at the time, I had my son next to me, and when we were getting told this by the surgeon, and I looked at her dead in the eyes. I said, my son's going to get fixed. We're going to get through this. My son's going to survive. You watch. We're going to get through this. And she kind of looked at me like I was a bit crazy, but I had full faith. We're going to get through this. And I had my boy there, and I wasn't going to take that for an answer. I'm his father, and they're telling me in the 6 months, we're not going to take that for an answer. When you love your kid, I didn't know at the time how I was going to do it, but I knew that I was going to do it somehow. We're going to get through this, as a team. And when, I had a lot of family come down. We had, all my cousins and all my family members all come down, and we had a lot of support and we had a lot of love, and from the community as well. Out here in Western Sydney, they all come out and supported. Yeah, there was a lot of moments where I cried and things like that. But obviously, I'm my son there. I can't go breaking down in front of my son. I was determined we were going to get it fixed, and they deemed him inoperable. That was what they were saying. He's inoperable, no one can touch him. Catch you later, go home, that was it. And kind of left us high and dry a bit, you know what I mean? We were like, where's the next step, So from that point there, I knew that I had to take matters in my own hands. That was it, I was no longer nodding to them. I was no longer taking their advice. I was like, I'm leading the show now. We've got the team here, got my family here, and we're gonna take our own action. And I went home and started googling neurosurgeons, and I looked in Germany had some quite good neurosurgeons, and Germans are quite good at many things, and I saw them, and a good friend of mine at the time contacted me, and he said, listen, there's a bloke in Sydney called Charlie Teo, he's a man, he's world renowned, he's doing great jobs, and he's world renowned, he's right here in Sydney, so I thought, it's a lot closer than going to Germany, so I ended up getting contacted with his office, paid $600 or $700 at the time, I think it was, for half an hour consultation, and went down and visited him, yeah. So we went down to Charlie Teo's office with Trey. He was dressed very casual. I remember walking in there, he had a good smile, he had good energy about him, and I remember calling him Dr. Teo. He's like, no, call me Charlie. And I remember talking to him, he gave us the answers like straight away. Like, he was very straight up. He goes, listen, your son's gonna die in 6 months or 2 years. That's correct, but they didn't explain to us that at Westmead that the 6 months to 2 years is going to be deteriorating. So it's not going to be a good life of what he's got left. It's going to be deteriorating life, and it's going to be terrible. And they never told us that at Westmead. They just said he's inoperable and catch you later. That was never been told to us. And then he also said to us that when I operate, there's a good chance that he could die, but your son's going to die anyway. And he was very, very straightforward to that, you know what I mean? But he also told us that he'd done this operation many times, and he was very, very confident he can get this done. He's done it so many times. I've done it. He'll get it done. You know, he said that I'll get this done. And Trey was 14 at the time. You know, you could put yourself in those shoes. You know, being 14, being told that you only got 6 months, 2 years to live. You know, like it was hard times for Trey. You know, not just as a parent, but I could only imagine what Trey was feeling at the time. You know, Trey had a dream about Charlie Teo. You know, he had a dream that Charlie was a black duck, and he was on a farm, and the black duck was curing all the animals. And then he had that dream, and then he was very confident that Charlie is the one that's gonna fix him, you know, gonna get him through. Yeah, so we had a consultation about a month later. We had the operation. We had to come up with $80,000, I believe, at the time. So it was a lot of money at the time, 10 years ago, that I didn't have it. And but we did my cousin did a GoFundMe page, and here everyone in Blacktown, Mount Druitt, our family back home, everywhere, they all chucked in money. It was incredible, like how fast the money came, you know. Even friends that their daughters were selling little bracelets at the school for $1, you know, to raise money. And yeah, it was really overwhelming. Yeah, we got the money really fast. You know, I would have chopped my left arm off, you know, to get it done. You know, it didn't matter. It was $1 million. We would have got it. You know, I remember operation day, and it was a big day to come to. You know, driving down. We was at St. Vincent's down in the city, eastern suburbs there, and it was a big day. You know, beforehand. And I remember Charlie rocking up. He must have rode his bike to the operation place. He had like a helmet. You know, had a jacket, whatever. He walked past, and Trey was about to go under. I remember Charlie grabbing him, going, "Yeah, brother, we're going to do well today." And he's like, you know, really physical with him. Like, and I'm thinking, "Oh, gee, we've got a cowboy here." I got myself into, you know. But he was confident, you know. He backed himself, you know, the whole team. He had an American young guy, assistant American guy, and he looked like a real, you know, gold medal winner. You know, like their whole team were like the all stars, man. They had a good team behind them. So during the 10 hours, I had a lot of cousins there. And they all come down and very loud, and I didn't want to be around that too many people, so I walked away actually, and I went for a walk, and I walked up to the top of the hill, and I could see the hospital, and I just sat there and prayed for about I prayed for about 9-10 hours straight. Yeah. I've never prayed in my life that long in my life, hey, you know. And walking back to the hospital, you know, seeing all my cousins, everyone there, family, and then coming down to give the results, you know. Teo come down with his assistant, and they said they got every single thing out, perfect operation as far as they were concerned. You know, it was like an absolute miracle, you know. So he was in ICU, he was still asleep. We went and saw him, and then we went back to the hotel for a bit. When the nurses were ringing us, you know, Trey had woken up, and Trey kept on saying, "Oh, the black duck is here, the black duck is here," over and over. Now it meant Teo was a black duck in his dream, you know. So we were kind of freaking out a bit. We went back up there and seen him, and then, but obviously that was the start of it, you know. You know, he had to get up and walk, and his memory, he had his short-term memory was totally gone, you know. So his short-term memory was gone for about a good 6 months. So, but yeah. But I remember the drive home from the hospital. I was with me and Lingy were in the car, which is Trey's stepmom. He was like a good support all the way through, and their family, the Tuasa family, were fantastic, you know, they got behind us. And the drive home from the east suburbs, come back out here, Blacktown, was like something out of a movie, you know. I remember coming down Parramatta Road and traffic, whatever, and just looking in the back seat, having Trey in there with all the bandages or whatever, you know, and coming back, that was like just something out of a movie, you know, like just like a big relief. Oh, we're going home, you know. He's coming home and the tumour's gone, you know. That was huge, you know. My advice I'll give in the same situation is to have faith. God favours the one who has faith, you know, and have no doubt, you know, and do your research, get second, third opinions, take the matter in your own hand, don't just nod to everyone, you know, these doctors or surgeons or different people, you know, we're just humans just like you and I, and God gives us all with a brain, and you've got to make your own decisions to the end of the day, you know, and that was my decision, you know. I remember at the start, you know, I was very nodding my head and I was very blinded about the whole situation. God bless Charlie Teo, God bless Charlie Teo's hands, and God bless Charlie Teo's team, you know. He's a man, you know, he rocked the system, you know, and he come left field, you know. He didn't come to save people, he come change the system as well, you know. Today, you know, Trey's alive, he's happy, kicking goals, and he's looking good, you know. He's like a supermodel, you know. He's alive, you know. God bless.